What's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. And today we're talking about the Colts free agency so far, talk about all the signings, talk about all the trades, all the players that left to go to different teams. And if you enjoyed Colts content, NFL content, make sure you like, subscribe, put that post notification bell on so you miss any future videos. And let's get right into the video. So first, we're getting into the players that left. So Jack Doyle retired, good tight end, one of the longest tenured Colts, along with T.Y. Hilton, who's also probably going to leave. Retired, so the Colts are gonna have to go and find a third tight end because the Colts like to have a lot of tight ends. So 2 is not gonna be enough. They're gonna need 3 or 4 on the roster. So Doyle leaving sucks, but gotta move on. Gotta go find someone else to fill in for his spot. Easier said than done. And then Carson Wentz trade to the Washington football team. That was a very good trade. Chris Ballard got a lot more than everyone thought he was gonna get for Carson Wentz. I didn't even really think anyone really wanted to trade for him. And then never mind the value they got for him. So then Matthew Adams went to the Chicago Bears. He's a linebacker. Mark Lewinsky and Chris Reed both left. Glow went to the Giants, and Reed went to the Vikings. I really wasn't happy that the Colts didn't re-sign one of these guys. I wanted one of these guys back. Whether it was Glow or Reed, I wanted one back because the Colts already came out and said that Pinner is going to come out and play right guard, right? So I don't mind it. Pinner has shown very good ability to come out and fill in for an injured Ryan Kelly at times, even come in for that Cardinals game. He played most of it. Played pretty damn good. So moving him to right guard, we're going to see how he performs. I think he will be just fine, but it also leaves a void behind Ryan Kelly. But Will Fries is probably going to step up and be that backup center, kind of the backup, offensive line on the whole line. The backup guy in the whole line, so he would fill in if Ryan Kelly got hurt. Will Fries would be that starting center. Then you have Kemoko Turay and George Odom, 2 very quality players going to the San Francisco 49ers. Kemoko Turay, if healthy, he's going to make a big impact on that team. He's going to make a name for himself, and he's probably going to cash in next year. If he stays healthy, I could absolutely see him having a 10-plus sack season. Then you have George Odom. He wanted to go someplace last year. He didn't even want to play for the Colts this year that much. He stuck it out, played special teams, played safety. He was an all-pro gunner. He was a Pro Bowl gunner. Very good special teams guy. And then he was also very good when he stepped in for Julian Blackmon last year. So he went to the Niners, and he's getting a shot to start. Then you have Rocky Sin, straight to the Las Vegas Raiders for Unique Ngakoue. Marlon Mack went to Houston Texans. We don't really need Marlon Mack. We have Jonathan Taylor. We have Nyheim Hines, and we have that young stud from Duke. So we really don't need any other running back. And then you move on to Zach Pascal, the wide receiver that went to the Philadelphia Eagles. Zach Pascal, I was ready to move on from Zach Pascal. He's a solid receiver, but at the same time, very inconsistent. His big time good games are very far in between. He doesn't make enough impact to be a high end 2. He's more like a low end 2, a high end 3. Very good 4. He's a decent receiver, but he definitely has his fair share of struggles, and he's going to be going to the Eagles, play with Hurts, Smith, see how he does over there. So those are all the departures. The only ones I'm really kind of upset about are Glow and Reed. I would have liked one of them back. Kind of bummed out with Turay leaving, but our defense line is looking pretty good with the trade for Unique. Kenny Moore, no, Kenny Moore's the corner. What I'm talking about, but you have Woody Pay, Unique, Buckner, Deo, Grove. So not too much of a big deal there, but still kind of sucks to see him go. But he was injured a lot, all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Then trade number 1 was a Colts and Washington Commanders for Carson Wentz. So the Colts and Commanders swapped second-round picks this year. Colts are gonna move up to 42, and the Commanders are gonna move down to 47. And then the Colts also got a third-round pick for this year, and they got a third-round pick for next year, which can be a second. So kind of the same stipulations for that one as it was for the Colts last year with the first and the second. So if Carson Wentz plays 70% of the snaps, I believe it's the same thing. And if the Colts, Carson Wentz plays that amount of snaps, the Colts are going to get a second instead of the third, which would be nice. Then the Commanders basically just got Carson Wentz, and then they swapped the second-round pick. So the Colts really got a good amount from this. They got a lot from this trade, a lot more than I thought, a lot more than many thought. So we'll definitely take it. And then later on, Colts use the other third-round pick, their later one, for their new quarterback and Matt Ryan. So the Colts did trade away their third round pick this year, their second one, their later one. So they still got the earlier third round pick that they got from Washington. They used that later one to receive Matt Ryan. So Matt Ryan is going to have a pretty big cap hit. He's like $40 million. Kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's a quarterback that's going to be, that's going to bring us places. He's going to be here for at least 2 years. And as you see, I have trade as Tarde. Spelled that wrong. Did I spell wrong on the other one too? No, I spelled it just wrong on this one. But Matt Ryan to the Colts. Really like Matt Ryan. And the Colts need to get him another weapon or two. And Matt Ryan would be just fine. The offensive line is solid. And don't forget, Matt Ryan can run a little more than you think. He's not fast, but he's not Phillip Rivers. He can move just as much as he needs to. So, and he's still got a bit of an arm left with him. Don't think that's completely gone. He's a very smart player. He's going to come to Indy, and he's going to prove a lot of people wrong. He's going to show why he is still a very good quarterback in this league and why the Colts ultimately traded for him. I believe a third-round pick for a quarterback that's going to maybe bring us to the promised land is a steal. Then you have trade number 3. The Colts received Yannick Ngakoue, D-line /edge. He could play anywhere. Very good edge rusher, and the Colts are going to have to pay him next year, but Yannick Ngakoue is a very good edge rusher. Really excited to get him, and he's going to ultimately make the secondary better, which did have a big addition yesterday. And the Raiders received Rocky Sin. It was basically just a swap, which I would take a very good edge rusher over a corner. Over a corner that has struggled over the years, really has struggled to blossom. But even though towards the second half of last season, Rocky Sin started to look very good, but we're going to see how he performs next year in the Raider system. Let's see if he continues to build off that. If he doesn't, and then the Colts, have Yannick Ngakoue, who is going to be very good as long as he is healthy, and then the Colts are probably going to extend him. And then, you got a pretty damn good edge rusher. And don't forget, we made some pretty big additions. So not just in the secondary, but for special teams. So the first guy we added was Armani Watts, safety / special teams player. He's from the Kansas City Chiefs. When everyone saw this, they're like, wrong safety, man, wrong safety. But don't forget, Armani Watts is going to be our special teams guy, one of our special teams guy. He's going to fill the role of George Odom when Odom left. Armani Watts is a very good special teams guy. He's not going to play too much as safety. I don't see him playing too much, especially since we signed Rodney McLeod as well. So, but nonetheless, Armani Watts is going to come in, and he's going to make a big impact on special teams. Same thing with Brendan King. Same thing, but he's a linebacker. He's going to be a special teams as well. Very good special teams player. 2 signings there that aren't going to get you jumping out of your seats, but 2 signings that are important. So, Rodney McLeod from the Philadelphia Eagles. This was a pretty good signing. This signing really went under the radar because we were all expecting Tyrann Mathieu. We all wanted Tyrann Mathieu. So when we signed Armani Watts and Rodney McLeod, we kind of weren't really big on it. We weren't really that happy. But at the same time, if you sat down and thought about it, Rodney McLeod is a very good safety. He's kind of like, a Tyrann Mathieu, but less expensive, which is a Chris Ballard type of guy. He's going to be like the quarterback of the defense. He's very smart. He's versatile. Rodney McLeod is going to make a big difference on this team. Really excited for Rodney McLeod. Then you have Brendan Fashion, who's number 4 corner for the Raiders last year. When you're number 4 corner for the Raiders, you don't really want to have him jump up to number 2. But that's why the Colts signed, as you see, Stephon Gilmore. So he's not going to have to be. Isaiah Rodgers is going to be 2. Kenny Moore is going to be 3. Slot corner. So, and then you move on to Brandon Kemp. He's a tackle from the Tennessee Titans. Tackle for depth. He was a practice squad guy, but he's going to come in and compete. We're going to need some depth at tackle, so important to bring him in and get that figured out. So, and then you have Stephon Gilmore. The big signing yesterday. Big signing, 2 years, $23 million. That's pretty cheap for a cornerback that's going to come in and make as big as an impact as he is going to. The difference of the Colts cornerback group with Stephon Gilmore in it and then not is significant. If Stephon Gilmore, isn't there, you're going to have Isaiah Rodgers at 1, which, I'm not comfortable to be putting at Isaiah Rodgers at 1. I'm not comfortable to be putting Isaiah Rodgers at number 1 yet. Last year he played number 2 most of the year. Xavier Rhodes was 1. Once in a while he did fill in at 1 when Rhodes got hurt, but he got beat quite a bit, but he did make a lot of big plays. Isaiah Rodgers wasn't terrible. He was okay. He was good. He wasn't terrible, but not number 1 ready yet. He was drafted in the 6th round a few years ago. He's raw. he got his chance last year, and he ran with it, and he did pretty good with this. So we're going to see him continue to progress, and hopefully he could really make that jump. Stephon Gilmore could teach him, and then you do have Kenny Moore in the slot. You have Brandon Fashion, who's going to be number 4. And, I'm happy that he's not going to be number 2. Him at number 2, and Isaiah Rodgers number 1. You're asking for trouble. So big signing by Stephon Gilmore. You have Stephon Gilmore at 1, and then you have Isaiah Rodgers at 2. When Isaiah Rodgers is fast, good ball skills, he's still learning. If Stephon Gilmore can really help him, and Isaiah Rodgers makes that jump, we're gonna have 2 pretty damn good corners, and then Kenny Moore in the slot, and then don't forget the defensive line, which ultimately helps the secondary as well. The addition of Unique Ngakoue, with the addition, no other addition, but but now you have Unique Ngakoue, Kwity Paye, Deo, Grover Stewart. You have a pretty damn good defensive line group. Don't forget Deo Dangbo. There's a lot of good players in this line. Kwity Paye, Unique coming off the edge. I really believe that Kwity Paye is going to make a big jump this year. Hopefully he does, and he's going to come in and make a big difference. So, no, don't forget, Tyquan Lewis is coming back on a 1-year deal worth $3 million as well. Big time re-signing, because Lewis is going to have to play a depth role or come in once in a while, because we didn't have anything. With Kamal Couture leaving, with a few other players leaving, we really didn't have a lot of depth. So re-signing Tyquan Lewis was important, and Tyquan Lewis, when healthy, he showed to be a very good player. So hopefully he can figure it out, be healthy, and have a good year and cash in next year, whether it's with the Colts or not. So you guys let me know what you think about this offseason. And pending. So Eric Fisher, tackle, he's not coming back, as we already saw. The ship has sailed on Eric Fisher. And then you have T.Y. Hilton, who I don't see coming back to Indy either. I think he wants to go somewhere else. I think he wants to go somewhere else and play for someone else. I don't see him coming back to Indy. He probably does want to come back to the Colts too, but also he's looking for the best offer. Okay. And then Xavier Rhodes, he's not coming back either. He was hurt a lot and he struggled a little bit, so I don't see him coming back. He's not coming back. And that's it. So thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in to the JDW Sports Talk Show, where every fan is welcome. If you liked or if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe, and put that post notification bell on so you miss any future videos. And that's going to be it for today. Thank you for watching. This is JDW Sports Talk Show, signing off.